So welcome to the lower final in the RoboCup Division B competition between ITAndroids and Traps. You can see that Traps is having the white robots with the blue top markers in the left-hand side of the field, while ITA is going to be the yellow robots, even though I can't see it on the field yet. I expect it to be a black robot. We can see it just behind the person in the MATLAB shirt. It is now moving into position because the game is being stopped, so we can have a timely kickoff in around a minute. The kickoff is being given so that ITA gets to do a kickoff. Their one robot is aggressively getting the ball into the hole of Traps, and Traps has lots of robots to defend. The ball has left the field, so it's now the referee's duty to place the ball back at where it belongs. The referee has done that, so the match will continue soon.
Now the winner of this match will be playing the Warthog in the final match for Division B. So these are the current second and third place teams in the elimination bracket. And following this, the winner will be playing in what is called the upper final.
So the match has resumed. There is a free kick for yellow that is again aggressively shot towards the half of Traps. The ball has left the field, so it's going to be a corner kick for ITA. Corner kicks are going to be an interesting observation in this match because ITA only has one robot, so a pass is really not option. And without the ability to do a pass, a corner is very shallow, and that's what we just saw. The ball left the field without even touching one of the Traps robots, so Traps now gets to do a goal kick instead. With the goal kick for Traps, we can see they are probably trying to do a pass, but the ITA robot is stealing the ball. But now it shows the disadvantage of only being one robot. There were lots of robots willing to accept the pass, just no one able to. And ITA would have been defenseless at this point.
Their goalie robot and attacker robot, single robot, has to move very quickly up and down the field to be able to block the shot from those multiple robots on Trap's side. We'll see now as it looks like we have a corner kick. Is it for yellow or for blue?
This should be a free kick for blue. It looks like a corner kick.
So it'll be very tricky. Let's see if
defending
will be able to defend.
Is a challenge with just one robot, but at least it's a goalie. It can go inside the defense box if it needs to.
Yes, and the blue robots are going to be unable to go into the defense box.
They cannot. This was, let's say, less impressive, but the good news for Traps is that they will get this throw in too, so they have another chance at an even better angle. So they are positioning themselves with a pass. The robot number 4 is willing to accept the pass and do a goal shot, but I'm not sure. Yes, they are not trying to do the pass, which is unfortunate because they also stumbled the ball, so it left the field, and ITA is going to have another free kick.
So the Traps robots don't appear to have a dribbler on the front of their bot, so it is more difficult for them to receive a pass because it'll bounce off the front rather than having something dampen it. When it hits the front of the robot, it might go further in front and make it a little bit more challenging to shoot.
What we just saw there is a duel between two different robots because no robot was in clear position of the ball. This might have been the first goal for Traps. The ball is definitely inside the goal right now. It is for the referee to decide if the goal is valid or if something happened that makes it invalid, but the referee has accepted the goal. So it's 1-0 for Traps, and ITA is down 1 goal.
So now we'll be resetting for the kickoff for ITA.
Everything is ready, so the kickoff is starting right now. ITA once again has to probably shoot at the blue robot, which they did. And unfortunately for them, the pass was immediately intercepted by the robot number 4 and shot on goal. So that is probably the second goal for Traps. And it is, the referee has accepted the goal. So we're setting up for another kickoff.
So we will see if ITA does a similar strategy here and just tries to kick it directly into the goal from the kickoff, or if they shoot it into a different area of the field, potentially steal it from traps and then shoot at the goal. It's a little bit harder to have a variety in strategy when you have one robot.
You're gonna have to drive to the ball, probably, otherwise they will be scored against you. It's not like you can do much of that.
It looks like in the chat that we have some people here that are cheering on traps. It's very exciting. Thank you for joining us to watch the match.
It's a important match, right? The winner is at least second place, so they wanna fight for their right to be champions.
Looks like we're setting up another kickoff for ITA right here. Let's see if they keep the same strategy.
It was, but this time it bounced off the blue robot, so they get a chance to duel it. There was a duel in front of the trap's defense box, but that's the advantage of having 4 robots. You can kind of block whatever's happening there. The ball has been freed, and it's now on an aggressive pass.
Oh, that's very...
Maybe it's even a goal shot. The goalie almost had it, but it definitely entered the goal.
That was a very good effort for Mita trying to get back into that goal to stop the ball very quickly.
It was also a good shot by traps,
yes.
right? You gotta be very precise.
Yeah, very accurate.
To be shooting from all across the field.
Yes.
But the referee has awarded the goal, so it's 3-0 for traps now. And ITA is going to have another kickoff. This time the blue robots have shot at ITA, so the ball has left the field on the side. This means it is going to be another throw-in. It's a throw-in for traps, actually, according to the automatic referees, which is surprising, but that's what... Maybe that's what the referee will decide. We will see. That is what the referee will decide. So that is a throw-in for traps. They have 3 robots placed there to... Now, I wouldn't do a pass to either of them, but maybe they're readying themselves for the bounce back. But the ITA robot was just too quick on the shot. So even though traps is remaining possession by being allowed to do... No, actually, this is a free kick for ITA. So that's wild, but again, the shot was blocked. The traps robots are trying to do a pass, but ITA is faster.
Oh, nice free from ITA, shooting it down the field, getting it a little bit further towards the goal.
Very true, but we are once again having 3 defenders building a big huddle, so that it is very hard to get through.
Looks like the match was halted. There was some sort of foul on the field where robots crashed into each other, although I'm not sure that speed was quite as fast as the marked note from the auto referee, so we'll find out if there's indeed a robot crash.
Well, 1.5 meter per second is reasonable that the ITA robot could do. It's a very fast robot. It's a very good robot. That's why they are in the semi-finals, because it always has been only one robot. So.
Yes, and I see that we also have some people who are cheering for ITA who have joined us now, along with some fans of traps. So thank you for joining to watch the match and cheer on both of these teams that are trying to do their best to make it up to the match for first place in Division B. Looks like there's still some discussion among the referees about whether there was a robot crash and a foul here on the field.
I am not fully sure what the discussion is about, because even if the foul is valid, it did not stop the play. So that is not an issue. Fouls do eventually escalate into yellow cards, but ITA is not particularly scared of yellow cards either. With one robot on the field, you're gonna have lots of cards before that happens to be a problem. But what really happened is that the referee called a pushing foul on ITA, which again, maybe not the most impactful at this point, but that's what took so much time. Now the ball just has to be placed back into the field, which the referee is doing right now. And then we will probably restart with, yes, a free kick for blue.
That's a nice pass.
It's a pass. They are lined up for the goal shot. Oh, the blue robot would almost have saved the shot, but it got out of the way, so the ball has entered the goal. The goal has been given, so it is 4-0 for Traps now. And we are placing the ball back at the middle point, and
I think a strength of both of these teams is the ability of their robots to turn very quickly and shoot accurately at the goal. We see it both teams very similarly able to pivot their robots in one spot and keep it from moving or drifting from an angle that would be unideal for shooting the ball.
the international community hasn't seen Traps ever before, but they are a very strong team from Japan, and so it is not so surprising that a newcomer team is likely to get into the grand finals if we're looking at the state of the ball right now.
Yeah, similarly, when the bots came to their first tournament, they're also a
Last
new
year?
team. They did very well and made it into the final, which is very. So we have a lot of new teams that develop robots, and maybe they don't have as much time to travel to the destination. But when they come to their first RoboCup, they perform very well because they've built very strong robots. We again see this clustering of all the defenders. That seems to be
Yep.
a fairly good strategy, though. Ida has not been able to.
Well, I would argue that it is not the most effective defense strategy because your robots getting in the way of each other, but it is definitely serving Traps well. And well, you could argue the defense isn't too much tasked to allocate spare resources when you only have to defend against one robot.
Yeah, there are no double teaming rules in RoboCup, so you can have as many robots as you want. If you have 6 of them,
6 of them on the field.
you could have all 6 on one other robot. So
If the other team doesn't have any other robots, that might even be a good strategy, in my opinion. We are having a corner kick for Ita again, which is again going to be not so useful probably because the angle is so shallow. I think the ball left the field way before the situation looked any kind of dangerous. So the situation was cleared. It looks like it's gonna be another corner kick. So we might be in a repeat situation here. 2 defenders of Traps defending the direct shot. One of the blue robots is on the corner, but that ball again left the field and then bounced back into the field from the backside, which is not valid. So we are retrying the same thing again. If you don't succeed, try again. We are having
third
now.
time is the charm.
It's the 3rd time the corner kick now. So there's another free kick for Ita, and it might just be exactly the same. So the referee is announcing that they are done with seeing the same situation repeat forever. So this is the last chance for Ita to do something interesting with the corner kick. Otherwise, the referee will place it somewhere else to make the game proceed, which is not a power that the referee has, and it's very smart to do this. The ball did end up differently here because the shot was different, so it would be a goal kick for blue now, which is different, but the game is halted, so we will see. The assistant ref is placing the ball very precisely where the kickoff position is supposed to be for the goal kick for Traps, and we are given that goal kick for Traps. So Traps now gets to do a shot. They also do shooting at the yellow robot, but they are still in control of the ball. They are scoring at the field, but this might even be...
It's an aimless kick, I believe.
It's an aimless kick, pretty sure. So the ball has entered the goal, but do not get disturbed by that. The ball had left the field before. It is very unlikely to be a valid goal. It is not awarded by the referee. The robot has been punished for kicking aimlessly. That is something you cannot do in this league.
So if you kick at the goal, but you from halfway across the field, but you miss the goal, that's considered an aimless kick. You're
Yes.
kicking it from very far away, and seemingly, potentially at nothing.
And so the referee is now guessing where the position is. The funny thing is on my screen I can see it rather clearly, but the referee of course doesn't have access to that. This is a good position. The referee just leave it there. That's good. So because it's an aimless kick, it is not a throw-in where the ball has left the field, but instead where the robot has shot, which is this position, and it's gonna be for Ita. So that might be a most dangerous situation yet. But well, if Ita shoots exactly at the blue robot, then the situation becomes less dangerous. Traps is trying to do a pass while ITA is just trying to push forward and do something aggressive. They are doing something aggressive. They are pushing the game forwards, and they are having left the field. Now it's a
Free kick for
free kick
blue.
blue, but
Bounced off of ITA,
Bounced off
so
of ITA.
we're going to have a goal kick for
goal kick.
Traps.
So Traps is in possession all the time, but the thing that isn't happening is they're not moving towards the goal that they want to be going towards. So we have another free kick for blue, for the Traps robots. They are once again probably setting up for a pass or a shot. They are once again deciding to shoot at the yellow robot, but the rebound has been caught. The ITA robot, I don't know why the game has been stopped for this. The ITA robot had been caught it. Maybe the ball had left the field. I didn't fully see.
So we have another aimless kick for
so
Traps.
the other refs or the human referee have decided that this is another aimless kick. So the ball has probably left the field. So my view that it might have been on the side of the goal and stayed inside was apparently wrong. So that's what's happening. There's another aimless kick. The yellow robot is gonna get another free kick at an interesting position. This time it's less valuable because the angle is again not so great. If you can't do a pass, that's not great. But now we have the same situation repeating, but maybe that's not an aimless kick actually. It is not, because the blue robot caught up to the ball. So the last touch is in the half where it is normal to shoot at the goal, right?
It seems both teams have fairly similar strategies. Maybe Traps with just more robots.
There's the goal that we missed for Traps. They got a rebound out of ITA, so they shot at ITA, they got a rebound, and that was clear for the goal.
It looks like the referee
has accepted the goal. So we have 40 seconds of game time remaining in the first half, and we're already 5-0 for Traps. The game might even be cut out early, because once one team reaches 10 goals, that's the end of the match. There is another kickoff for ITA. They once again shoot at the blue robot, get possession for the 3 Traps, the blue Traps number 3, and it scores on an empty goal.
So this is a bit of a dangerous kickoff play for ITA. They've kicked it into the Traps robots, who are very accurate when they shoot.
Yeah, especially it rebounds off the first Traps robot, but there are other Traps robots out there who will catch up to the ball and shoot.
Yes.
I actually don't know what else you do though, because you have to go towards the opponent, right? Going across if you don't have a pass. This is another. Oh, that is a good
very
save.
good save.
Good save by ITA. It's now a corner kick for Traps, unfortunately, but it is a good save. They accelerated backwards because it's their goal. They can do that, and just caught up with the ball and pushed it out. Yes, a corner kick for Traps now. I would suggest the Traps should size up so they can do a pass, but they are shooting directly at ITA again, and that is just not gonna work. The ITA robot is mobile, and it will catch that.
So we only have about 18 seconds left in this half of the match, so we'll see if Traps is able to take some more shots on goal from this corner kick here.
That was an attempt of a pass. That was very good, but it took the shorter pass, which I think is the wrong choice in this situation, because that made it possible for the ITA robot to cover both and be there when the redirect towards the goal was intended to happen. So that was not a goal.
Some very nice defense from ITA, trying to defend against those 4 robots.
Very true. It is impressive for the ITA robot to be able to do that, even when I'm criticizing the blue robots for making it not as hard as possible.
So now we've entered halftime. We have a 5-minute break for each of the teams to make changes to their robots or their software, in case there are any changes or repairs they need to make. Maybe
something you all could keep in mind if you're not fully aware with the SSL is that these robots are running autonomously. There is no one allowed to touch them while they're on the field, and there's no one allowed to touch the centrally controlling software while the match is running. But there are exceptions for that, and halftime is one of them, so that if you think you have a critical flaw that you need to fix, you can do that. I see that Traps is actively working on something. I'm of course not gonna tell you what it is, because that would be unfair, but I can see them working thoroughly and figuring out how to make this game be even smoother for them.
It looks like they're swapping out batteries to
Well-
make sure all of the robots are fully charged.
On the field they are doing that, but I'm also seeing the software guys doing
Yes.
software stuff.
They're changing the secret sauce. But
Is it secret in Traps? I don't know.
I don't know what it is, so I guess it's a secret for me.
It's a secret for me.
Looks like ITA is also doing something with their robot. It's no longer on the field, so they're probably making sure it's got plenty of battery life.
And maybe tightening all the screws or whatever, right? You want to be your best.
Yes, we want to make sure there's no parts dropped on the field. We've had some other matches, especially for the larger division. We've had many teams dropping pieces of their robots on the field.
Yeah, and that's always sad for two reasons. One, it's a foul, you can't do that. The other is that these parts have an objective, and if you drop them, they might be no longer good at doing the objective. For example, on the big field yesterday in the evening, we had a match where there were like one of the teams was losing screws that are supposed to hold their electronics in place
Oh no.
because the collisions were so strong that they broke the screws. And well, the team was happy to have the broken screws back, I guess, but one, they are broken, and two, now the electronics is wobbling. They were not happy.
It's very good that both of these teams, they're moving fairly fast, but none of them have been out of control and hitting anything where they've potentially shaken their electronics.
Yes. These robots are self-built, and some of these teams spend lots and lots of time and thought on how to make these robots and make them affordably. And losing lots and lots of parts on the field or even getting damaged in an aggressive collision is something that some teams might be very sad about. So I'm very happy to see none of that happening in this semi-final.
Speaking of, it seems like both teams have all teams have a similar design. We have the same form factor that's required for all of the robots. They can be 15 centimeters tall, but each team gets to choose their own design and pick the outside of their robots. They're allowed to change the outer shell. So we have both a light design with like the white color or a darker color. In this match, for example, Traps has got a lighter design on the outside, while ITA has a darker design.
This is mostly for all of you viewers that you are more easy to understand which robot is which, because from the view of the system there's a camera on top that looks on top, which can see the pattern that you can barely see in the camera that you have access to, that has a central dot that also distinguishes the color. That's why I'm continuously saying about a blue robot and a yellow robot, because that's the perspective of the system. For the viewers, of course, it makes more sense to think of the Traps robots as the white ones with white holes, and the one very black ITA robot is very distinguishable from that, which is something I'm very happy about.
Yes. So potentially at this halftime, we might have the teams switch sides. They get to decide together before the match whether they would like to keep the same sides after halftime or switch. So we'll have to see what the teams agreed upon in terms of if one of the teams likes a particular side over another.
Yeah, halftime break is going to be over in about 10 seconds, so I expect the teams to finish up. Traps seems to be ready. They have 6 robots on the field. They know what they're doing. Traps has removed their hands off the computer. They are ready. ITA is not on the field. That's not a good sign. I don't know what the referee will do, but halftime has technically ended. We are now in negative halftime, and maybe ITA will be forced to take a timeout to get their system running, because halftime is over. The referee has called out just that, but ITA is willing to place down their black robot. You can see it there at the center line. So they are also ready, so we just go into second half, which is very convenient.
It's very nice of the referee to let them continue for a few extra seconds. It looks
Yes.
like we're about to test the robots to ensure
They are still connected to radio and stuff, which looks good. One robot has to be taken off for some reason, which is something a team can do. They could have 6 robots on the field, they chose only 5, that is allowed. And now I think they get kickoff because the first half ITA got kickoff. So for the kickoff, the blue robots are placing themselves, but they are directly shooting at the ITA robot, which is not gonna work. Now they tried to do a pass, but they stumbled, so they have pushed out the ball, and now ITA is once again going to have a throw-in at this position.
This is a potentially good spot for ITA to try to shoot at the goal.
It's nice. The angle is nice, right? If you go much further down the line, you're gonna get shallower and shallower. But you see already 3 blue robots are like building a wall. And this wall is very organized. And yeah, surprisingly, there was no getting through that. Actually, the referee has decided that this was a double touch.
Oh, they've continued the
ITA.
game, I think.
No, they have given a free kick for Traps.
Oh, that was very fast.
That was very fast. That was a curious decision by the referee, but that's for the referee to handle with the teams if the teams really complain.
It looks like the ball was out, so we'll be having a goal kick from Traps. Oh, there is actually a timeout.
There's a timeout for ITA. So in the timeout, that's another point where teams can touch their code or their robots. ITA has taken a timeout to do something. In that timeout, both teams can do something. So Traps is also looking at maybe options how they can improve too. But it's always a little bit risky, right? Because if the timeout ends, you just end. And you might have to take a timeout yourselves to finish whatever you were doing.
Oh, sorry. Each team has a maximum of 5 minutes for their timeouts for the entire game until we have the overtime, for example. If teams are tied at the end, they potentially can have another timeout.
But ITA called end of timeout, so we are continuing with the game with the goal kick for Traps that was happening before the timeout. There was the Traps. They are doing a pass, rather obviously. They are doing a... Well, that pass was not good. So they got themselves into their own defense area, but that's just a corner kick for ITA, and we have established that ITA is not going to be doing super great on corner kicks just because you can't do a pass.
So we are having some problems in here. The auto half is wrong, but the vision lines in...
So because Traps doesn't have that dribbler at the front, the ball just bounced off, and it looks like we had something similar happen here, where... it bounced off of Traps out into another throw-in, a throw-in for ITA right here. They're about to do a throw-in towards the goal for Traps, and then it bounced off that wall again. It looks like the defenders for Traps, giving them another throw-in. Basically, but they're slowly moving it down the field towards ITA's goal for Traps. So some fairly good defense, even though it's a pretty simple strategy. It can work well to get the ball closer to the goal and try to take that shot. Let's see if ITA changes anything about their strategy, or if they continue to shoot it into Traps.
Nah, it's very much the same pattern for now.
So continuing to move it down the field, so potentially maybe if Traps could grab the ball somehow or bounce it into another one of their robots, they could take a shot on goal.
It's kind of the same thing we saw a few minutes ago in the first half with the ITA robots in the other direction, where Traps was having free kicks and kept in possession. But this is exactly what she was just saying. Like, Traps got into possession. Unfortunately, they did not score this time. They missed the goal by a little. So now the ball is going to be placed in the corner for a corner kick for Traps. Traps can, of course, do something with the corner kick. They have lots of robots to pass to. I just don't know if their brain is capable of doing that.
They did do that pass earlier on in the first half, so maybe they will do a small pass here and try to shoot the ball.
They are setting up the numbers 9 robot for a very big pass, which would be great, but they didn't take the direct shot on goal, which ITA immediately counters. Now they're doing the big pass. They are trying to redirect, but they are too slow, so the ITA robot is in the way. ITA actually chips it towards the, not chips, but shoots it towards the other half.
And that looks like it's an aimless kick. They kicked it more than halfway across the field, so even though they weren't really trying to shoot a goal, they were trying to kick the ball away. It's still considered an aimless kick because it's shooting the ball far away without another robot to receive the pass.
Yeah, and it crossed the goal line, right? That's the important part. If you want to clear the ball, you clear towards the sidelines. And if you can't do that, then you get yourself a rather dangerous free kick against yourselves.
Although the free kick is, looks like Where is the Ita? Oh, the Ita robot is hidden behind the Traps robots.
The Ita robot is right there, right? It's driving backwards. It's crossing the field line now. There's enough time and stop to be prepared. And now there's gonna be probably the free kick for blue. They're again capable of setting up pass suggestions that they are shooting. That was a nice save by blue.
Oh, let's see if this...
But it did not hit the goal, so that might be an aimless kick again. It was a very nice save on the outline there, where the sideline was very close and the ball was about to leave the field, but Traps still caught it and tried to shoot.
It looks like this is an aimless kick, so we will be having a throw-in for Ita back on the other side of the field. The refs are moving that ball. They're trying to determine where exactly the aimless kick occurred, but it looks like they've got it. And we'll have to see if Ita is able to use this angle to their advantage similarly to earlier, where they bounced it off of Traps and got fairly close to shooting a goal.
Yes. I think Ita would be very happy to at least score once. I think that's something they definitely would want, if that would be possible for them. But there is another timeout for Traps. They are going to do some changes.
So Traps, they've formed a T with their robots in the timeout to represent the name of their team.
Which is cute.
Yes, a lot of fun with each of these teams having their own mascot and design. Each team may be coming from a university or their own community group representing their community, both academic and in their geographic area, choosing to do that in different ways. So the team Ita is from Brazil, whereas the team Traps is from Japan. So we have teams from all over competing in these matches.
I'm honestly impressed that we are having it 9 a.m. in the morning in Korea and we're still having viewers from both Japan and Brazil. You are of very different time zones and I'm very happy to have you.
The team who's in the final match, Warthog Robotics, they're also from Brazil. So we could have a similar matchup in our next
At least
match.
in nationalities,
Yes,
right?
in nationalities potentially, or we might have a all Brazilian match if Ito was able to come back. Although 6 points is a pretty
Tall
big gap.
ask
It's pretty
if
hard.
you're just one robot.
Yes.
But
They've done very well against many other teams who
Yes.
had more than one robot. So
very true. Otherwise they wouldn't be in the semi-finals, right?
Yes. So they've fought other teams with 6 robots and scored many points. So
I've spoken to many teams on this venue and lots of them tell you that this Ita robot is scary. If you are not precise, it will find a way.
So that is one of the biggest challenges with these small size league robots, is having how fast they can move and turn, especially because each match or each tournament that we have set up, each RoboCup, they have a different sort of field that's set up by whoever is organizing it. Sometimes it's a very slippy carpet, sometimes it's a very grippy carpet. You have to have a robot that can do either one, slippy or grippy. It can turn well or move fast no matter what the conditions are.
And Ita does that, right? Ita is consistently good with very few robots because their robots are very good. The ball is placed at the correct position. I expect the match to resume very shortly. It should go into stop so the robots can place themselves and then go into, the free kick for blue, the throw in for Traps. That was like nothing. It's gonna be repeating exactly because the ball bounced off of Ita so cleanly that it's almost the same position.
We'll see that maybe this time they'll try to dampen the ball first and potentially get a shot on goal, or Traps will choose to pass to an outside robot.
A
Another
pass
robot.
would be good, I think. This looks again like, but the robot is there for the redirect. But it's again missed the goal by a few, not much, but by a few centimeters.
And that will also be an aimless kick, so we'll move the ball back for Ita
Yeah, that is.
because it went over the goal line.
It almost went into the goal, right? It's one of the closest aimless kicks you can get. It's almost an aimful kick that we call a goal.
So everyone is moving back and resetting.
Ita gets a free kick here. That is, I would argue, even better than on the very sidelines. But shooting again directly at the blue robots is just not gonna cut it.
Well, they just stopped it from going out.
That is very good. Like out of the duel between the blue robot and the yellow robot, the traps robot was able to free the ball and shoot. And this time it was in the goal. So the referees are going to discuss something going on there. I don't fully know what, but the referee has given the goal, so it's 7-0 for traps. At this point, we will see another kickoff for Ita, where we already saw that Ita got scored against multiple times, so maybe they have made up a different strategy for that.
We'll see if they can block Traps' defense easily, since they don't have another robot to shoot towards.
No, it's still directly at the blue robot. It's still dangerous, but no, they are
Able to stop
pushing
it
it down
well.
the field. This is good. This is one of these cases where I think the Ita robot could have caught it if it wanted to, but because it wasn't,
In quite the right direction.
I'm actually surprised. I was convinced that was going to be an aimless kick. The referee says otherwise, so we're going to be just doing a goal kick for Ita. That's of course also okay. It's just maybe a little bit disappointing if you're Ita. So the game is running, the free kick is ongoing, Ita is doing something, and in second attempt is pushing, but
Looks like Traps tried to pass it, but they didn't have their robots move quite fast enough to shoot at the goal from the pass.
yes. This is a, oh yeah, that's a goal, most likely. The referee will probably give it soon. That is the danger of shooting at directly at the goal and hoping that the opponent might just not be capable of blocking it, because if they get clean possession of the ball, what happened in this case, well, they will score. And they will not care. And that's what happened with Traps here. Traps, for once, got the ball into clean control and shot at the goal and scored.
So see, Ita is going to try to get it down the field.
Which they successfully did. Their Traps is almost able to catch the ball in time, but almost is not in this case. So the ball left the field, and they are gonna start with a goal kick instead.
Which maybe is a better position for
Maybe,
Traps.
but the
We'll
robot was
see.
definitely trying to catch it in time. So
Yes, yes.
even if we think it might be a good choice for them, they clearly thought otherwise. So now we have a free kick running for the blue robots. It is not a pass, but again shooting at the yellow robot, which
The
once
same
again
strategy we saw
moves
earlier.
the free kick forward a little. Good enough, probably. So we resume with another free kick for blue. The Traps robots are gonna have another crack at the apple. Bite at the apple, I think. That one is probably still a goal kick for Traps, but that was the wrong direction for them, so now they're back at where they didn't want to go.
So we have about 2.5 minutes left in this match. We'll have to see. If the game goes to 10 points for Traps, we will end the match early. So we'll have to see if Ita can defend themselves for the rest of this match. They've done fairly well with defense so far, especially with one robot moving very fast to block that ball. But for now, it looks like Ita is called a timeout, so they're doing some sort of change to either their robot or their code.
Or both, no?
Yeah. To make sure everything is running like they like. And it looks like Traps is not choosing to do anything during the timeout. They're
think-
making some additional repairs, but
I think at this point Traps is rather confident that they will win the match. Maybe that is overconfidence, but time is on their side, right? And they are leading 8-0, so I could make that determination too, maybe.
it's always possible.
It's always possible.
And I think Ida has potential to score some goals on Traps, which would
Yeah.
be very good for them, I think.
Yeah, kind of embarrassing for Traps, if you're being honest, right?
Yeah, if you have 6 robots against one robot, if one scores on you, that would be a
And-
little, You would want to have better defense than that, you would hope.
Yes.
You have much more potential to block the ball.
Yes, just on raw robot density, right? You have more bodies that you could throw into the problem.
Yeah. Although if they weren't moving very well, it could be worse.
Yes, but like Traps is moving well. They are
Yes, they are moving very well.
very likely to go into the finals at this point, and we
Yes.
would hope that in the finals robots are moving, and they will be.
Yes, I think we'll see some very good movement in the finals. Warthog also has some very
Yes.
good moving robots, so it'll be a very dynamic match.
And for all the Brazilian fans in chat, Warthogs are gonna have more than one robot. I can promise you that.
So it looks like if you look on the outside, we actually have some spectators who are starting to join from the in-person RoboCup event here in Incheon. Members of the public are welcome to come and watch these matches, and each of the leagues tries to have all of their kind of final matches spaced out at different times so people can watch these. We're the small size league, but there are other sizes of robots. We have the mid-size league. They play with an actual kind of sized soccer ball. They're very similar form factor, also round robots that...
Much larger and much heavier than...
Yes, they play the team of the trustees, usually, so other people who are kind of the leading organizers of RoboCup, they're big enough to play human beings. Unlike the SSL robots, if they were to play some of the people on the teams, I think it wouldn't be very fair.
Yeah.
The humans would take up a lot more space just to block the ball.
Yeah, like I know that one team yesterday complained that someone accidentally stepped off one of our robots.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah, the robots don't like that.
No.
The team also doesn't like it when someone does it to their robots.
But the ball is small, so it is harder to kick for people.
Let's not design a competition that is likely to destroy SSL robots. I like my SSL robots not destroyed.
That's true. I like the robots working well and being able to move well without having to worry about running into something like a silly person.
So the ITA timeout is only 30 seconds remaining, so I expect that we will see some movement in the next half minute. Unless the referee is unusually kind, that timeout is gonna just run out and ITA will have to deal with whatever they're in at that point. And they did it. Like the ITA has ended the timeout. We resume the match with a stop so everyone can get into position. And then it is going to be another free kick for Traps, which out of this position is interesting. So there has been a clear change for ITA. The yellow robot is doing something very different there. Now
Being
yeah,
a bit
the
more
Traps,
aggressive, it looks like, kind of trying to move up towards those Traps robots because it really does have that good speed.
Yeah, it does accelerate well. Traps is now... The referees, I think, are figuring out how to place the ball where the Traps robot is supposed to be. They did it, kind of. So they're gonna have a stop now so the robot moves away. And then we can continue with the free kick for ITA. The ITA robot is approaching the free kick. It is again shooting exactly at the blue robot, and now the blue robot has a good chance to score, and the ball has definitely entered the goal. The referees will have to decide if that was a valid goal. It is. So the ball is placed at the center mark again for maybe the final kickoff for ITA. Right? There's not gonna be another kickoff for ITA unless they score 9 times and we go into overtime. So that might be the final kickoff for ITA that we will see this match.
Let's see if they can hold out to the end of the match.
Yeah, it's once again directly at the blue robot, and then 2 blue robots block each other's shot on goal. So it's gonna be a throw-in for ITA from this side position where the ball is right now. The yellow robot can approach the ball right now. The ITA robot is doing that, shooting directly at the Traps robot again. So Traps is in possession, trying to line up for a goal shot. That is again in the goal. Let's see what the referee says for that. The referee agrees, so it's a 10-0 goal. So the game is ended. So an applause for all of our participating teams. And
Great work by both teams.
yes, both teams can be proud of their results. The loser of this match, ITA, got third place in the competition and will be awarded a trophy for that. And Traps gets to play on with Robotics for the match for the very final winner of Division B in a later date.
So you can join us at 11 a.m. Korean time, which may be different for your time zone, to see the Division B final match with Traps against Warthog Robotics. So again, one team from Brazil and one team from Japan that will be playing for that final.
And on the same channel, we will have the Division A semi-final going on, I think, already or very shortly. That will be between RoboShin, another Brazilian team playing in Division A with up to 11 robots, and ER Force from Germany.